Well, here we are at the Kelly compound. Weekly update. We got in a few things this week. So I have a Can-Am here, Can-Am Defender, that we use for plowing the snow and hauling stuff around the property and general mayhem. And it suddenly developed a coolant leak that is mysterious. So Tommy took half of the Can-Am apart to find the leak.
Yep, found it. Took the entire interior out of it, all the skid plates off to find the heater core was leaking.
That was fun. And it wasn't even the heater core.
It was like the clamp to the heater core.
Yeah. It's still not running right. If anybody is a Can-Am expert and can help us figure out what's going on, we did order some weird.
Yeah, I got the adapter for my HB tuners to read the live data.
Right.
Maybe tune it.
Maybe we can get a code out of it. It just doesn't run right. When it's cold, you start it up and it barely runs, and then as soon as you try to give it gas, it just stalls. And you know, it's a 2019, right?
I think it's 2020.
Is it?
Yeah.
So
it's newer.
Pretty new, and it's
got 300 miles on it.
Should not be doing that stuff. So anyway, we are going to try to figure out what the story is with the Can-Am and get some of that diagnosed before we keep needing it and we're not going to be able to use it. We'll move on to the 64 Corvette.
Okay.
So we got some 64 Corvette parts here today.
Yep.
You can maybe see it behind us here. As we talked about last week, we have this really nice 64 Corvette convertible. Did all the work to this car. And now we're gonna make it better.
After we kill it.
Okay, after we kill it. We are going to put an LS3 in it, which is this right here. Tommy's doing the disassembly in order to get it cleaned up. We're gonna paint it, paint the front pulleys. It gets a TKX 5-speed. It's on its way.
Yeah, so this is just the LS3 for the Corvette. We're not doing anything except for cleaning it up. That's why it looks like this. We're just gonna clean it up, paint it, put it in stock LS3, 420 horse, 430 horse.
400 LS3?
Yeah.
440.
There you go. Good running motor.
We got these very cool rear trailing arms that allow you to put a bigger tire on the car from Van Steel.
Yep.
Van Steel. They come completely assembled. All you have to do is put your, what's that thing called on the back?
Maloney.
No, your the hub
for the
adapter
drive shaft. Well, I don't know
for
what
the half shaft.
Yeah.
You have to put on the back. You take it off your car. You put it on here. We're using the factory Corvette rear calipers, and these are going to be really cool. It's going to let us put about another 3 inches of tire on the back, which will be nice. I already did the rear trailing arms of this car, so they should come apart relatively easily. We're going to throw the rear sway bar on this when we get it apart, because that is going to need time to do it.
Yeah.
It's here somewhere. We got a lot of parts arriving for this thing, that random stuff. We got our ICT plates, we got our Chevy mounts that this work with.
We got our headers.
We got our headers from Doug's, right?
Doug's, yeah. Stainless or ceramic coat or whatever they call it.
Ceramic coat.
Ceramic.
So they're going to look nice. We have a old torque converter sitting here because I didn't feel
6L80.
like moving it.
It's heavy.
So when we got a couple of these engines, they had automatics on them. But since we're doing the 5 speeds, we ended up with a extra converter. We got that fancy little engine stand too, because we needed another one, and it comes with this really cool plate on the back that is for a small block and an LS.
Small block, big block.
Well, that's good stuff.
The ICT billet plate makes it safer. We're not dealing with those like arms that are, you got to tighten to the block and then tighten to the engine stand. I hate those.
Yeah, nice little setup.
Came with all the hardware. It's really nice to use.
I like it.
Still waiting on the train to show up. Once the train shows up, we're probably going to kill the car, take it apart, and get ready to put it back together.
Yeah, we're kind of waiting for all the parts to show up before we even start. That way, just in case there's some random back-ordered part that would keep us from having the car done for 3 months or 6 months or something like that. We got a bunch of parts showing up for the C10 project for T.
Yep.
I don't know if everything's here yet, but
We've just got
there's a lot of boxes.
another box from Summit, box from Texas Speed coming,
Yeah.
and I think another box from Rock Auto.
Yeah.
We got a lot coming for it. Circle
Yeah.
D converters coming for it. Probably do a PST drive shaft.
So we're going to take an L99 and we're putting a Texas Speed camshaft in it. That should be pretty rowdy.
That'll be enough.
Yeah.
Be
He,
enough for
he
what
wanted
the
it to
truck
sound
is.
pretty rowdy and
Yeah.
sound pretty
It's gonna do what it needs to do.
car show lumpity lump as he's coming in. So that's what we're gonna set up there.
This is the L99 6L80 combination for the C10. Tore it apart, get a camshaft in it. I took the heads apart because we were gonna replacing the valve springs anyway. Checked the seat, did a little lap compound on it. Found a lot of the exhaust valves are pretty pitted, so I'm waiting for a set of exhaust valves. And then I blasted the head, cleaned them up. They're just gonna put them back together when all the parts show up. Put it back together.
We're still playing with the 55 wagon and the pinion angle. We were able to get the angles equal, but they're equal in a way that I'm not sure is the correct way. But before we take it apart, we're going to get the drive shaft checked and balanced, just to double check. I had the drive shaft made for that. It's got balancing weight on it, but my hope is that it should be able to get solid. We had that GTO chassis that we sold this past week. It came with the 68 GTO that I bought. Two super nice guys showed up, and the one guy's got a 69 GTO, I think he said, and he was all ready to go, and he put they bought it, and he's going to put it under his car. Made some new friends. Tommy wasn't here for that.
Now it's Saturday, I was too busy not being here.
That's right. And they were really nice guys. Very cool. We're probably going to see if we can get them hooked into some of the fun car shows that we're doing, some of the other events and stuff like that. So then we've got our next update, which is Indy's car.
This car, she's a runner. We have twin 150 CD Strombergs. Took them apart, rebuilt them, kind of got them set up. This is Indy's car.
We rebuilt the carburetors. Well, Tommy rebuilt the carburetors.
Did my best.
Fiddled with it just a little bit. We've got a temperature sensor, right? That's
Yep.
here.
We got temperature sensor, side cover gasket because it's just pouring oil out of it.
Yeah.
And I think we got a valve cover gasket on its way.
Yeah.
But notice the water pump's leaking, but there's one in the trunk. So hopefully we can swap that on it.
Yeah.
But it does run good.
We took it out for a ride. It runs
Yeah.
pretty good.
We took it to lunch.
We did. We
Yeah.
took it to lunch. And last but not least, I think that we've decided on an engine for my GTO. We went through a lot of different ideas here, and there's been a lot of different options. I could buy a GM crate engine. I could buy something from like Blueprint, Texas Speed, that sort of stuff. And when I started doing the numbers, we really started getting into a lot of money. 500 horsepower or so from Blueprint or Texas Speed, with the computer and the wiring and the accessories and all the different stuff, ends up being a $28,000 swap. And it's not that I wasn't ready to do that. I just wanted to see if there was something we could do that would give us the same thing, same quality, for just less outbound expense. So because of the project that we're doing for T, I've gone ahead and acquired another LS3 with 14,000 miles on it. Comes with the TR6060. And we're going to do a cam swap and whatever else we feel like it needs. Usually it's valve springs.
Yeah, valve springs, lifters, push rods. Basically everything supporting the camshaft.
Right. We'll probably run the factory front runner system. We'll just paint it and make it look real nice. And we can do that whole combination wired in the car and running for probably half of if I were to buy something new from Blueprint or Texas Speed or one of those guys. It's a great option for somebody if they want to go that route. They can grab that from them and drop it in and they're ready to go. We're able to do a little bit of the work, so we're able to save some money on that side of the deal. It's not like I'm a money saver when it comes to the GTO.
Not that car, but the point about that is you spend less money on just the engine. You can always put the supercharger on it later or the bigger cam later if you get bored with it. Got to start somewhere, and let's start kind of tame.
Yeah, we when we drove the Chevelle and it had the LT4 in it
And the 10-speed.
and the 10-speed. That was the original combination I was going to put in my car, the LT4 and a 6-speed. But it's almost too much to drive on the street. It has so much power that you really almost can't even get into it without lighting the tires up. And I drive the GTO a lot, and I plan to drive it a lot, and I want to be able to have fun with it, and I want to be able to drive it comfortably, and not being able to even get into half throttle on the car, it just kind of seems pointless to go down that road. So going this way I think would be a better option.
Yeah, the LT4 was insane, but
Yeah.
you can't drive it every day and get on a highway and punch it, and you would just be in the trees.
Yeah, that's the scary part. You're going 50, 60, 65 miles an hour in the Chevelle, and you punch it and the tires light up. I mean, that gets unsafe, and I really don't want to do that. You know, I'm in it, and I'm taking my family in it, and I'm taking people in it, and I want to be able to just enjoy myself. And if I don't want to get into the throttle, I don't have to get into the throttle. So we're going to see how that starts to pan out. We're going to get over to Eugene's here pretty soon and get some video and get you guys some shots of what has been going on with that car. That is probably the biggest build that's going on here.
Yeah.
You know, we've got the Speed Tech chassis, which is the best. I mean, these guys are top of the line. They make the best stuff. We did all sorts of sheet metal work to that car, custom wheel wells on it to fit the new chassis, and it's getting all that new sheet metal. So there's a lot there, and it's going to be pretty cool for you guys to see and be a fun project to keep up on. You know, as you've known in the past, I've had the car since I was 15, so this is a big project for me. You know, we're going to try to put it together in as quickly as we can while also moving on this other stuff. So that's a GTO update. All right. Well, I don't have too much else.
No, I think pretty quiet week this week.
Yeah.
Made a lot of progress with the engines, getting them ready. Got the brakes on my Volvo.
That was very important.
That was very important. Brembo's on the 240.
He had to take the time to polish the face
So
of the caliper.
I needed the space because my wheels were too close. So I sanded and polished the calipers to make them look nicer.
I guess that's it.
That's it.
You want to do like an outro? Or no?
What am I going to do?
I don't know. Like you did last week.
Don't forget to tune in next week, kids. You never know what we're going to have. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know what else
Like
we're going
that
to
needs
do?
to be
You know
it.
what else we're going to do for next
Yeah.
week? We're going to work on Tommy talking.
Listen, I was on TV once.
You didn't talk much on that show.
I wasn't
either.
allowed.
It's always got an answer. Guy's always got an answer.
And that's
folks.
why I wasn't allowed to talk on it.
All right. That's it. So long.